Do we think we are David Ruffin and everybody their temptations? Yes.
Peace. I don't think that mean what y'all boy think he mean. He supposed to mean that we the star of the show and everybody else is the butt player. Respectfully. Even though it's disrespectful. Now, we'll say we joking. Everybody jokey all of a sudden. But plenty of us actually do really feel that way. That Charleston is legitimately the main attraction of South Carolina and everybody else just Otis. But to be fair, this mentality is not unique to Charleston. There's plenty of people who feel like where they're from. For example, in the tri-state area, in New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. New York for sure think that they're the David Ruffin and everybody else is the Temptations. A Caribbean woman come in my comments and say that she glad that the Caribbean people don't do this. They all united as one. That's a lie, because everybody know who's the David Ruffin of the Caribbean. You ain't never gotta ask if they is who they is. They wear their pride on their sleeve, literally. Matter of fact, put down in the comments if you know who's the David Ruffin of the Caribbean. Who's the most prideful, the most boastful, the most biggity of all the people in the Caribbean that see everybody else as second potato? Even in Africa, there's a David Ruffin of Africa. Who fit that description out of all the countries? Everybody know who it is. So when Charlestonians say that we the David Ruffin and everybody else is the Temptations, it's not a unique idea, but it is a tribalist idea. And that's where the jokes start being jokey. There's a deep irony of claiming yourself to be the David Ruffin and everybody else Temptation as a flex. To peel back the layers of the irony, let's take a look at the real David Ruffin and the Temptations. David Ruffin was legitimately a bona fide superstar when he led the Temptations. They had some smash hits with David Ruffin at the helm. But David Ruffin was not alone. The famous scene where David Ruffin go on stage and introduce himself as David Ruffin and these are the Temptations, David actually never did that in real life, but he did demand behind stage top billing as David Ruffin and the Temptation, because he did feel like he was bigger than the program. And when challenged on it, he did actually tell Otis, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. But then the group gets sick of David mess and kick him out the group. And David Eagle couldn't handle that. David would come to the shows uninvited after he get kicked out, get in the front row and then jump on stage and snatch the mic from Dennis to sing the old leads that he used to sing until security would kick him out. And all the time that David Ruffin was solo, separate from the group, he never eclipsed the success of the group. Meanwhile, with Dennis at the helm, the Temptation had various #1 hits, sold millions and millions more records than David did as a solo artist. In fact, the Temptation with the most successful solo career was Eddie Kendricks. In due time, David's history of separating himself led him down a self-destructive path of ego and excess to an early death by overdose, while the Temptations continue to this day to be successful. And who is the last remaining original Temptation that everybody's coming to see? Otis. That is the perfect metaphor for any group of people who find themselves full of themselves at the expense of everyone else who's a part of a collective. Go solo if you feel you must, but just remember, you can't sing harmony by yourself. We out here.